Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Maya with Simply Bloom. So today I want to walk through all my rose varieties that I have for you. I think I've timed it right so every single one has at least a bloom on it. One of them is a little tired, but I can at least show you what it is. And then after I do the rose tour, my grandma, she had the most beautiful roses I have ever seen. A beautiful rose garden. It stretched all the way around her house. She used to do a floating rose arrangement, I guess. She'd take one of her beautiful crystal bowls. You could use a glass bowl. I recommend a bowl that you can see through. She'd clip the blooms, put them in the water. So we're going to do that as well after I show you all the varieties that I have. So starting off in this little cottage garden here, I have 3 David Austin roses. Now I wasn't sure if I would be able to plant David Austin because I live in northern Minnesota, zone 3, but I successfully wintered them over and I am so excited to show you what's blooming. So here's my cottage garden. It's probably one of my favorite gardens on the property. You can see the bowl that I'll be using for the arrangement at the end. So starting over here, Janie from Dig Plant Water Repeat actually got me hooked on this rose when she planted one in her garden. This is the Gertrude Jekyll. You can see we've lost some blooms on the ground, but look how gorgeous this is. This is actually one of the first blooming David Austin roses there is. Beautiful pink color. She's got some thorns on her though. Look at those thorns. But what I do love about those thorns is that they match the color of the flowers. And here's a bud that's just starting to open, so you can see it's kind of that deeper pink and then turns to that beautiful pale pink. And look at the dew on it. Chose the perfect time. There's still dew on it. And then moving right over here, I have the Wisteria Vi rose. Now it starts off this pale pink. I wish I had one that was that's a little bit better. Oh, all the petals just fell. I can feel it. Yep, there we go. I'll pop up a picture because this one's a little bit too new to see and that one was past its prime. But it gets this beautiful, beautiful apricot. Oh, Jasper. That's for the flowers. Oh, geez. Okay. Oh, watch out for the flowers. Okay. Back to the flower. It gets this beautiful apricot color in the very center of this flower, and it is so beautiful. Now, I just planted these bare root last year, so they're not super big. Jasper, no. I think there's a chipmunk in there because he is trying to dig through my rock garden. Jasper, stop. Okay. And then right over here, this is, it's really hard to choose a favorite, but by just looking at them, this is my all-time favorite David Austin just by looks, and it is my most prolific bloomer. This is the Princess Alexander of Kent. Look how beautiful that is. There's several blooms on it. Someone stepped on this branch. I'm not quite sure who. I don't know if it was a dog. I don't know if it was a child. This branch is suffering, but look how gorgeous they are. It does smell incredible. All of them smell incredible. But I absolutely love that rose. We're going to have to figure something out with you because you're going to ruin my rock garden. We've had a bunch of chipmunks pop up all over the property, and he's never caught one, but it doesn't stop him from trying. So moving into this bed, I just planted, this bed last fall. It's coming along. Here's this rose. This is a rose from Proven Winners. This is the Oh So Easy Double Red. Now I really prefer pinks, purples, pale yellows, blues, like cooler colors in the garden. However, when we got this rose, I found it at Home Depot. When I found it, I couldn't pass it up and I had to have it. So what's special about this rose is you do not have to deadhead it. Most roses comes out with the first flush, A lot of roses, it'll come out with its first main flush, and it'll kind of lull out. Then you're supposed to deadhead everything, and then it will push a second flush a little bit later in the season. This rose, the Oh So Easy double red rose, does not need to get deadheaded. It will just bloom and push new blooms and bloom and bloom and bloom all season long. You can deadhead it if you want that slightly cleaner look. Otherwise, not necessary for this rose. Another quick look. This one smells absolutely incredible as well. I use it in flower arrangements, holds up well as well. And I actually have 2 of these. One great thing about this rose is it has very few thorns compared to, for example, the Gertrude Jekyll. It does have a few, but you can see they are far in between. There's one down there, a couple down there. The Wisteria Vi that I showed you, that one also still has some thorns, but not nearly as much as the Gertrude Jekyll. So they're a little bit easier when handling for flower arrangements. Now this rose I threatened all summer long last year, and I was saying how I was getting ready to just yank it out, and it has came back and proved me wrong. I don't actually know what variety this is. Now some of the petals, they always get that brown damage. I don't know if that's thrips or what that is, but it has fairly dark glossy green leaves and such a prolific bloomer this year. It was advertised as a miracle on the Hudson, but this is not a miracle on the Hudson, because this rose right here is the true miracle on the Hudson. This is another red one, but I love this red. This is almost like a deep velvety red color. Amazing, amazing, deep, bold leaves. And the new growth is kind of like a burgundy red color. I hope you can see okay in the sun. Each stem gets several, like a cluster of roses, and this is another one that will bloom all season long. It's absolutely incredible, very hardy, like I mentioned, zone 3, and it does incredibly well every single year. I have it planted with some catmint, and I just love how they're kind of growing together, and a blue delphinium right back there, and I love this corner. So pretty. So please excuse the next part of the garden. The garden itself looks a little rough. The chicken scratched out all the mulch. I haven't replaced it yet, so it's bare dirt. Weeds are starting to grow, and then it's at the base of my house, and my husband and I are talking. We want to add brick on the lower part of the house, because right now it's literally just plywood and black plastic. So you can see what I'm talking about. Weeds, black plastic, ugly, ugly plywood. But this is a beautiful, beautiful rose with quite a bit of insect damage. Something is going after the leaves. Now I try not to really spray anything in my garden. I'm not against it if you use it properly. But to me, I'll live with Swiss cheese for leaves as long as the blooms aren't damaged. So this is Queen of Sweden. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, out of all the roses that I have, I love the smell of this one the best. All of my roses smell amazing, but something about this rose I absolutely love. So the new blooms, I don't know if you can see, they almost have like an apricot center, and then as the blooms age, it turns to this just perfect pale pink. These are all more of like an upright facing bloom, and I have it outside my bedroom window. It's supposed to get like 5 feet tall. It died completely back to the ground though, being in zone 3, so I don't know if it'll ever get that tall in my garden, but it's right underneath my bedroom window, because I'm hoping if it gets tall enough and I open the window, I can smell that sweet, incredible perfume. Okay, this rose here it's more of almost like a ground cover. It's a very low-lying rose. This is the campfire rose. So it starts off with this beautiful little flower here. It has that yellow center, fades to a white and pink outer petals, and then as the flower matures, it just turns straight to like a white pink flower. Very hardy, zone 3 again, and a very small rose, so it's very easy to tuck into small spaces. And then this rose back here is the one that I told you it's pretty tired, very tired in fact, but this is the Above and Beyond. The leaves got absolutely stripped I might actually have to be a little proactive on this one because the leaves are not able to photosynthesize when they look like that. So this is a climber. It gets 10 to 14 feet tall, but in colder regions, it can act as more of just a large shrub. I am hoping to kind of train it up if it keeps doing well. I have it fairly protective, so hopefully I can kind of train it along my deck railing. It starts off this beautiful orangey apricot color, and then as it fades, it turns to more of a creamy pale color. The only complaint I have about this rose is it's the very first blooming rose in my garden. It blooms the most prolific, like every inch of it is covered in blooms, but it only gets one flush. Only one, and then once it's done for the season. So that's my only complaint, but so beautiful for the short time that it blooms. So that's the roses that I wanted to show you. Now let's go make the floating arrangement. Here's another campfire rose. This bed, I'm not a huge fan of this bed. I feel like it looks a little overgrown, a little bit messy. I wasn't gonna show you this bed, but I am, because right above this, I have a beautiful wisteria. Now my husband and I did some digging last night trying to remember exactly what this one is. You can see the bumblebees love it. This is a summer cascading wisteria. It has a faint smell, smells beautifully, survives in my zone 3. It's technically rated down to zone 4, but it survives. So gorgeous. I don't think it's that hard to contain, to control. You can see I have a couple little runners on the bottom that I just need to thread on up, but I find it very easy to control. In my garden, maybe if you're a warmer zone and it doesn't get as cold, then it might be a little bit more aggressive, but it fits well on this little arbor that I have, and I absolutely love it. And I think it looks so beautiful with this rose down below. Again, this is a campfire rose. You can kind of see how it stays small. Being completely honest, I forgot to prune this one. I just kind of forget about this bed in general because I want to change some things, but these two, this combo right here is beautiful. Now to do that, you just need, like to use this crystal bowl, but I think as long as it's a glass bowl, it's fine. You can use smaller bowls. This time I'm using kind of a medium one, and all I'm going to do is cut the bloom off and just float it in the water. So I just cut the bloom off right at the base. I don't go too close to the petals because then your petals would all completely fall apart. You need a little bit of that green base to hold them together. And then I try to choose ones that are still fairly new so they'll last a little bit longer. Okay, you guys, there it is. I decided to do all Princess Alexander of Kent just to make it, I don't know, I kind of wanted them all the same flower, and I absolutely love it. It is so beautiful, and whenever I do this and place it on the dining room table and people come over, they always comment on it. It is so beautiful. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this rose tour. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.